If you are a nominee or an awardee, check the chat box. Cindy just sent a message to all of you. And we've arranged this today such that I'll be able to speak to each of our nominees and each of our awardees. So we really want to literally highlight our nominees and awardees at our ceremony today. I have 4:02 p.m., so why don't we start? We've got 33 people right now with us. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us in our 2022, I'm off by a century, our 2022 annual Outstanding Students Recognition Ceremony. It is the first time we've tried to do this ceremony online, so please be forgiving as we go through the hour. I think it's going to work out well, and I'm very pleased. For those of you who don't know, who are with us today at the ceremony, this is an event that was started in our division about 6 years ago. And we wanted to identify students that our faculty were seeing in their classrooms, and also even then, online students as well as on-campus students who were not just students, not that getting a good grade or having perhaps one of the best grades or the best grade in a class isn't important. It certainly is. It has value and importance. But it was also to recognize outstanding students by way of a whole set of behaviors. And I'm going to get at that during our slide presentation today with all of you. So you'll all have an appreciation for how we came to select both our nominees and our awardees. It isn't only or just about the student who does the best academically. That's a part of it, but it's frankly, it's not the largest part of the selection process. So I wanted you all to be aware of that. Also know that in welcoming you to this year's ceremony, I'm especially proud of this year's set of awardees and nominees, because this has been clearly a very difficult year for students, for our faculty, for teaching and learning. And so what the nominees demonstrate for me and the awardees is that we have been able to achieve very high levels of student success in the past year. So it's a congratulations on my part to all of you who are in the call, all of you who work in our division, whatever your capacity. We've all come together in the past year to make the best of a challenging situation. And certainly our nominees and awardees show us unquestionably there is excellence and success occurring every day. And I'm very, very pleased and happy about that. Thank you. And because I can't remember off the top of my head all the PowerPoint slides, Cindy is going to help me along the way this afternoon. So she's going to bring the PowerPoint back up.
There you go.
All right. So I think I've covered everything on my welcome and my opening remarks. So if we could go to the next slide. And again, we had a few people, which is great, who just jumped into the meeting in the last couple of minutes. I'm Kevin O'Connor, the Division Dean of Liberal Arts, and I'll be moderating our ceremony today. We wanted to share with all of you our Liberal Arts Division mission statement. And below it, you'll see 4 bullet points. And they are really goals. And our division is most proud of our mission statement and set of goals. Even though we're a liberal arts division, we're not a social and behavioral sciences division. We believe in behavior. We want to, as a dean, as support staff, as faculty, we want to behave in ways that are exemplary. We want to set best case examples of behavior for everyone, ourselves, and of course that includes our students. The mission statement, it also is reviewed. I want you to know this is very important. We review it every fall semester, and the statement has evolved over the years. In fact, this academic year, we revised the second sentence of this statement. So, I know it's not best protocol to read from a PowerPoint slide, but I'm going to do so anyway here because I think this is very important for all of you to understand our mission statement and our goals, because it ties in very directly to our awards and nominations recognition process. Members of the Liberal Arts Division value student engagement and innovative teaching and learning, model and cultivate collegial habits that inspire independent, critical thinking, and invite us to examine multiple viewpoints, including our own. We choose practices that address the needs of a diverse community, unified by its common interest in helping one another reach clear academic, personal, and career goals. Lastly, our division welcomes and supports people of all economic backgrounds, abilities, ethnicities, races, nationalities, ages, religions, genders, gender identities, and sexual orientations. And by the way, that's a long list, but it will undoubtedly over time become longer. And its intention is to remind us of our need to be inclusive. So this is a mission statement that we try to live by. We discuss it regularly. It's part of our meetings, and we hold ourselves to it in a very serious way. Now, mission statements, though, can sometimes not translate into day-to-day behavior if you don't sometimes get a little bit more specific. So we've identified, again, over the years, 4 areas of goal setting. And I'm also going to indulge in reading what's on the screen here to you. So to achieve that division mission statement, we do the following. Always communicate in a manner that is timely, responsive, and helpful. This was one of our first goals established several years ago. It sounds very easy, simple, if not simplistic. Some of you might be wondering, well, why would you even have to state that? And we came to an agreement that it was probably one of the most important things to do is to respond to people in a timely manner. Because we have so many demands, communication demands, sometimes people don't respond in a timely manner. We talk about what timely means. I respond to all emails within 24 hours. That's how I've operationalized that statement for me. That they're responsive to what the sender has said, and the most important and the hardest sometimes to achieve, and our responses are helpful. We're here to be helpful. Sometimes communications, we live in a world of sometimes negative communications, harsh, hostile communications. We don't want to do that in liberal arts. And sometimes, people, someone can send us a communication that maybe the sender was upset. And we work very hard when we're the receiver of these communications, nevertheless respond in a way that's timely, responsive, and helpful. The other 3, quickly, to participate in our professional development. Our faculty and staff stay up to date and current in teaching and learning. We are a leader, and that takes a great deal of time for our faculty and staff, and that's why we place it as an important outcome and behavior. The 3rd bullet point, model practices that promote engaged teaching, learning, and service to others. Think about, I'm going to say, engaged teaching, learning, and service to others. You're going to hear some stories at the very end of our ceremony when we introduce you to our 6 awardees, and the statements that will be read at that point for each of the 6 will illustrate in a very detailed, concrete way service to others. So that's why this award ceremony is also a reflection of what you're seeing on this page. And the last bullet point, demonstrates supportive behaviors that encourage our students and ourselves to be directed, focused, nurtured, engaged, connected, and valued. These are 6 things that, they're behaviors, they're actions. And so when we're communicating, be it in a online or on-campus classroom setting, in the liberal arts division office, in the academic reading center, the language lab, the journalism lab, we want our students to feel that we're giving them appropriate direction and focus, that we nurture them, that we acknowledge their successes, that we engage them. Many of our faculty have participated in professional development that create highly engaged classroom experiences. And the connection, I think, especially in a community college, students will be more successful if they feel more connected, not only to their faculty and the support staff, be it instructional support staff or student services, if they feel that they're valued, that we value them. So I wanted to share these 2 things with you today because we believe in them. We try our best to set best examples, to follow them, remind ourselves of their importance very regularly. And I think today's ceremony, when it's concluded, I hope you'll all recognize that our nominees and awardees are the results of our doing this, and that we're helping students to realize the importance of these things in their lives. In fact, I must say, I need to revise what I just said. I think many of our nominees and awardees already knew before they came to us how to do many, if not all of these things. But we want to give them a teaching and learning environment where they can be their best, and all sides of who they are be their best. So I did take a bit of time on this slide. So Cindy, could we move to the next one? Thank you, Cindy. Now, these are the criteria that we use in our nomination process, that our faculty and staff receive nomination forms and submit student nominees. And there's also an open statement at the bottom of each nomination form. There's also a section of the nomination form that the nominator, be it a faculty member or a staff member, that they look at these criteria. And again, because it's so important to why we're here this afternoon, I want you to kind of read through all of these yourself, and you'll see that it's not just about who got the best grade in the class. It's about these students as rounded, full persons, individuals, human beings, and students. We wanted to take a much more rounded view of our classrooms, be they online or in person, and the student experience and what it is we're trying to promote and to encourage. And you see classroom engagement. You see that comes from our mission statement and our goals. I just love all of these statements. Everyone is my favorite. Seeks out college resources, shows an ability to confront and overcome obstacles. That's so important in life success strategies as well as academic success strategies. So take a look at these. Some of them, if you're a student here today with us, you might feel that some of these, or all of them, as I said, really describe who you are as a person. If you're a friend, a family member joining us, I hope the time I've taken in the previous slide and this slide will help you better appreciate why we have our recognition ceremony, its history, its roots, and it really makes the significance of these nominees and their achievements and awardees, I think, very powerful and very important. As you'll see from an upcoming slides, it's a very selective process. this process. We take it very seriously. So Cindy, may we go to the next slide? And here you have, ta-da, there's no music here, and so maybe Jeff, Professor Jeff Vogel. Yeah, but this is a list of our nominees this year. There are 12 nominees, and in fact, one of them in the lower right-hand corner was nominated for 2 awards. So let me give you some logistics or how we'll handle this slide. Because we want to meet, I'm going to introduce one by one each of our nominees. And you'll see under the nominee's name, you'll see the category for the nomination is listed. And then underneath that, the name of the professor or the support staff person who made the nomination. So we have 12 people. I'm going to go from left to right, each of the rows. So if you're a nominee, you should see your name here. Hopefully you're on the call with us right now. And I'll start in the upper left-hand corner, and I'll work across the first row and then go back the second row all the way down is how I'll proceed. When I introduce each person, each of these esteemed, wonderful nominees, I have a question for each of you. And you can write down the question, but do know when I introduce each of you, I'll also repeat the question. And it's a real easy question, but I think one that we're eager to hear your respective answers. Here's the question. What was the one thing you liked most about Professor, and then I'll list your professor's name, about the professor's class? I'll repeat that again. What was the one thing you most liked about your professor's class? Now, for some of you, final grades aren't in, so seize this opportunity. All right. And with no further ado, if Rashid Almazraoui is with us, could you come forward? And if you can begin by answering the question, Zoom should bring your picture up to the top so we can all see and hear you. Rashid, are you with us? Cindy, do you see Rashid?
I do not.
Okay. Well, I'll go to the next one, and maybe at the end, if we have someone who we'll double check before we conclude if someone joins us a little later.
Okay.
Rashid was a nominee in English composition, and I do know we have with us at the meeting, I think I saw her log into our meeting, is Professor Zameni. So thank you, Professor Zameni, for making this nomination. We appreciate it greatly.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to go to my next nominee. And by the way, let me at this point apologize for what will probably be the horrible mispronunciation and blunders of several names here. I will do my best, but I'm sure will not hit the mark for some of you. So in advance, let me make that apology. It's Ieva Ambrazate.
Yes, I was perfect.
Okay, great. Nice to see your face. And you were nominated in international languages, in particular the Spanish program in that department. So congratulations on your nomination. And Professor Kayet nominated you. So tell us about Professor Kayet. What's your favorite part of her class?
Well, obviously, thank you very much. And I obviously feel unworthy of this. Well, I don't know, but I've been trying to learn Spanish for years now, and I've had a really hard time staying on topic. And that is until I met Professor Kayet, and she applauds every time students speak up in class. She encourages us to congratulate ourselves and thanks us repeatedly for showing up, and her enthusiasm for teaching is inexorable. I I cannot bear the idea of missing the class. That
is a wonderful answer to my question. And you already see how it underscores so many of our goals in liberal arts for teaching and learning in our classes. And Connie is just a great leader in providing high engagement instruction. And those 6 things that came at the end, nurturing. She's a wonderful nurturer. Thank you, Connie. So thank you both.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're next going to go to Jessica Mcginnis, who was nominated in English composition. Jessica, are you with us here today?
I do not see her in the list.
All right. And I think I saw Professor Karen Cooper. Are you with us, Karen?
I'm here.
Well, thank you, Karen. We greatly appreciate this nomination that you made. We're sorry that Jessica couldn't join us today, but very appreciative of your nomination, Karen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Moving to the second row is Macy Brown with us.
Hi, yeah.
Hi, Macy. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And you were nominated also in English composition, and Professor Suki Fisher nominated you. So what is your favorite part of her class?
Honestly, like just her as a person has made the class like amazing for me, because I've always been like not super fond of English. Like I've always kind of been like a math student, and that was kind of my favorite. So going into the class, like I didn't feel like super confident, and just like meeting with her continually in her office hours every single week, like really gave me the confidence that I needed in my writing, and it really showed through, because now this is my second semester taking English with her, so I can tell like how much I've improved just like working with her like every week. And she's just made English, which is not my favorite, like so much more enjoyable. She's really made it awesome for me.
Well, thank you. I know that really, what you just said, those wonderful compliments, that they were genuine and descriptive of Professor Suki Fisher. I know her well and have visited her classrooms myself many times. And I think embedded in all of those wonderful things you shared with us was the fact that she made you feel good about a subject that wasn't your favorite.
Yeah,
that's
and she was
wonderful.
always like available to help. Like I could email her at any time, and she was like, okay, let's meet on Zoom right now. Like she would give me such quick responses, and like she was just always there for me, like at every point.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much, Macy. And Suki, thank you for your nomination. So appreciate it. Our next nominee is Ryan Monty.
Hi.
Hi, Ryan. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You also received a nomination in English composition, and also Professor Suki Fisher.
Yes.
So what say you about her class? What is your favorite part of her class?
I would say that the pertinence of her subject matter is probably, it almost tricks you into becoming a better writer, because when you're having these important conversations about subject matter that needs to be talked about, you can't help but have a passion for what you set out to do. And I think that's something that is very underrated. And I'm incredibly grateful for her class and what it's awakened in me. I kind of like Macy, I'm a science guy and I'm a tech guy, but as we've progressed and as she's kind of bolstered our talents, it's awakened something into me where, you know, I'd like to write about tech professionally and things like that, things that, you know, before I started her class, I would have never considered to be a possibility, but she makes her students feel like not only can they do it, they should do it.
What a wonderful way to answer my question. Thank you. And it's fair to say that her course and your engagement with her course in an exceptional way has led to something you just described as potentially life-changing. Doesn't get better than that. Thank you. Thank you. And again, Suki, thank you for your nomination. Let's move next to Rebecca Moretti. Rebecca, are you with us this afternoon?
I am.
Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. And you were nominated in the International Languages Department, specifically their Spanish program. And Professor Connie Cayet submitted your nomination. So congratulations. Thank you. How would you answer our question? What is your favorite part of Professor Cayet's class?
There are so many, it's hard to name them all, but I echo what, how do you say her, is it Yeva? Is that how you say her name?
Yes.
What she said about Professor Cayet, but truly she has a gift for teaching, honestly. She has a way of reaching each student individually. She celebrates the joy of learning in a safe environment, you know, when it's a little daunting learning a new language. And so people are afraid to speak sometimes, especially when it's not your own. She made it safe, and she didn't celebrate anything but the best, you know. She helped me fall in love with the language, but she also helped me fall in love with all the diverse culture that exists in those Spanish languages. She just had a way of bringing in, you know, the politics and the culture, the land, the music, the art, everything into this. And I loved her classes so much. I wanted to stay in her class and just sit in, even though I had moved on. So I felt like I walked away with an increased education for sure, but I really truly consider her a dear friend. She was there for me in many hard circumstances. While I was in her class, I lost my mother. And it was just really challenging. And she was just nothing but thoughtful and kind and just there. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Those were wonderful, a wonderful description of your class experience with Professor Cayet. And certainly, once again, it illustrates the importance of inclusiveness and diversity, which is in our mission statement. And we have on our meeting today, or our ceremony today, the Department Chair for International Languages and Professor Carmen Mar Hernandez Bravo. And that is a major, what you have sensed in your course is a major goal and or objective in the entire International Languages Department, to not only learn a language, but to learn about other people, their culture, their history. So it's so great to hear from you and to hear that that is indeed what's occurring in our classrooms. So thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Terry Glenn, is Terry with us? Terry?
I do not see Terry Glenn in the list.
All right. Well, Terry was nominated for an English composition in the category of English composition, and Professor Karen Cooper was the nominating professor. So thank you very much, Karen, for your nomination. We're sorry that Terry wasn't able to join us this afternoon. So I'll move next then to April Solomon. April.
Hi.
Hi,
Nice
April.
to meet you.
So nice to see you and meet you. And
Thank you.
most importantly,
Good to be here.
Congratulations. And
Thank you.
you nominated for the English creative writing area. And again, a familiar name this afternoon for us at our ceremony is Professor Suki Fisher made the nomination on your behalf. So April, tell us something that you recall as you know to be your favorite part of her creative writing class.
We're going to need a whole other Zoom session for that because there's not enough time to express how amazing she is. And yeah, I mean, I agree with everyone that talked before me that had to say good things about Suki, because she awakened in me this passion for writing and the sheer joy and pleasure of just exploring what the could be's when you're writing and not worrying so much about the perfectionism of writing. Because I used to write a lot in high school and then I just kind of gave it up. not on purpose, but it just kind of fluttered away. And then when I took her class, her exercises, her lectures, her passion for writing and her desire to help students realize that it's not about writing something perfect. It's just about the joy of writing and exploring these little exercises that are so unique and different that I've never experienced before, not even in high school. She's a gem, and the school is very blessed to have her staff. And there's not enough words of gratitude to express what she did for me as a writer, and all my classmates too were amazing. So I'm very grateful for that class. I'm grateful for her.
Well, thank you, April. And it's interesting, Ryan, who also has shared with us thoughts about a course he's taken from Professor Fisher. He kind of maybe has a new road forward as a result of the class. And in listening to your comments, she reawakened something in you. So those are wonderful bookends, so to speak. So reawakening things that pre-existed and stimulating new pathways. That's just the best. Thank you. And again, April, thank you so much. We're so honored to have you and all of the nominees and awardees as students here at Saddleback College. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, Sarah, I'm going to pronounce your last name slowly, so be patient with me. Hajı Kohdavard Ikan.
Hello. Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
I know, Sarah, I did not get that last name come
Yes,
out.
I know my last name is difficult even in my country.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's a historical last name. Haji Khodaverdi Khan.
You say
I'm
it
sorry
much
about
better.
that.
Sarah, you say it not only much better than I, but more quickly than I. So Sarah, you were nominated in ESL by Professor Saranavard, and tell us something about her class, your experience taking her class. What did you most like about her class?
I loved my class, especially in these days, in Corona virus days, on coronavirus days. It was a beautiful thing for me that it encouraged me to wake up and studying, and I loved this. I loved my class and my professor. I appreciated very much from Saddleback, and all of my courses in Saddleback, especially my course with Professor Saranavard, helped me very much to figure out in these strange days in coronavirus period. I'm sorry, my English isn't well.
Well, Sarah, you have done a beautiful job expressing your thoughts and sentiments about her class. And I think for many people, going to work, for us, going to work being teaching or being an administrator in my example, or as a student, for many of us, I think it helped us get through this past year, as you so eloquently described just now. So thank you so much, Sarah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nada, thank you so much for making this nomination. I appreciate it.
And thank you, my professor. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you both. Caleb Van Loon. Hi,
Yes. Hello, Dr. Gunnar. How are you?
I'm doing well. So nice to see and meet you. You were nominated by Professor Zameni for English composition. So tell us something about her class. What is your favorite part of her teaching her class?
Well, I mean, it was just from the very first assignment, it was just all about, kind of searching deeper into what we can put on the page. As writing has always been my strong suit. So there's always a little bit of, I got this. So that kind of over zeal can be a bit of an issue. But always being open to new ideas, always being open to improvement, to evolution and growth. That's a huge part of the process. And she's been amazing from the word go. And I was really honored for the year recognition. And that was great.
Well, thank you very much, Caleb. And I'm struck by what you said just now in that about evolution and change. I think in English courses and our composition courses, that can be very challenging for some students. So it sounds like you rose to the challenge in a very positive way. And I think for our faculty who teach courses that require stretch and growth and maybe rethinking how we do something like how we write, that's a big challenge. So thank you so much. It was good to hear those thoughts from you, and congratulations to you. And thank you, Professor Zameni, for this nomination. Greatly appreciated.
Welcome.
Suzanne Snyder.
Hello.
Hi, Suzanne. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
Well, you can see you were nominated in English literature, and Professor Fisher submitted your nomination. Tell us about your class with Professor Fisher.
Sure. She is just, I love her quirky, different personality. She's so much fun. A lot of times, in class, it just didn't seem like, I don't know, that the discussion should be so fun because it's English. And in my past experience, English is, one of those where you get sleepy, but she was always very engaging. And, whenever I would complete an assignment and I just completely missed the mark, she was there for me, tactfully, compassionately. So I appreciate her very much, and her class was just a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. You just described the way we want all of our classes to be, and the experience that you've had, as you described it, to be the experience for all of our students. So thank you. It's very affirming to hear what you've just shared with us. Thank you so much, Suzanne. And again, thank you, Suki, for the nomination. Our last nominee was nominated in 2 categories. Zachary Leach, can you come forward? Are you with us this afternoon?
Yes, I am.
Well, so nice to see you, and congratulations twice. You were nominated for the English creative writing category, as well as English literature. So I'm going to I want you to answer the question for both classes. So We'll start with Professor Fisher's creative writing course. What was your favorite aspect of that class?
Obviously a lot's already been said about Professor Fisher, but specifically with the creative writing course, I just really couldn't agree more with April's comments as the other creative writing nominee. I think she really hit the nail on the head there. Professor Fisher she's a great instructor. She's just an excellent writer as well. She is a writer, and she is good at her craft. I think for me, I'm actually still in the class right now. I'm actually missing it right now for this.
Yeah.
Shucks, but I've really enjoyed like the student submissions, being able to read and critique my fellow peers' efforts at creative writing, at fiction writing, poetry, or drama. And I've really gotten a lot out of being able to submit my own works and hear all of the feedback, all of the critique from the class. you know, like on the first day of class, we did, you know, one of these icebreaker things, and a lot of people went around saying how writing was their passion and that they like wanted to pursue careers in writing. And when it came around to me, I was just kind of like, well, writing's sort of a hobby of mine, and I'm kind of just taking this class as an elective before I transfer. But what I ended up finding was Professor Fisher just really like ripped out a passion for fiction writing in me, and I just felt my kind of engagement and drive and just creative passion for writing stories just really flare up and set on fire. So I think, like,
well, Zach, it sounds like she opened an important door for you. That's wonderful. That's
right.
Just great. Can you tell us a little bit about the English literature course from Professor Stevenson?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was, I took a couple classes with Professor Stevenson. I'm not sure which course I'm being nominated for here. If it was just.
Did you take more than one English literature course from him? Both semesters?
I took an American literature course, and I took a introduction to literature with him. But I'll just say that in the in-person class that I had with him, one of the first things I noticed is that he just had a really immediately calming presence in the room. A lot of times with those kind of Socratic style discussions about literature, it can be kind of intimidating. People don't want to sound dumb or uninformed, and he had just a really relaxed presence that made everybody feel comfortable to participate and engage with one another. I also really enjoyed the fact that while it was a discussion style class, he did a good job of inserting like good resources for scholarship and information on the literature that we were serving. So it wasn't just a kind of circle of amateur opinions, as sometimes discussion style classes can, that's the form they could take, but it was this casual discussion that always felt like directed towards some sort of, you know, concrete learning, like we were going somewhere with the discussion. So I really enjoyed his classes.
Well, Zach, thank you for sharing with us this afternoon your observations about these two classes, and most importantly, congratulations for your two nominations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so we're going to move next to our awardees category. We have 6 of them, and we might run a little bit over our 5 p.m., but I'm enjoying this and hearing from our students. We're going to have an opportunity to hear also from our awardees. So do anticipate we might run a little bit over the 5 p.m. projected end time, and I hope that's all right with everybody. What you see on this screen is a picture of the award that each of the next 6 people have been mailed. And some of them, I think, have at this point in time probably already received their award at home. The award includes the seal, the college seal for Saddleback College. Saddleback College, the year 1967 is included. That was the year the college opened. And the awardees all have their awards, have their names imprinted on them. This is a generic looking one, but I wanted you all to see what the award looks like. Also, our nominees, whom we've just met and heard their wonderful descriptions of their classes and professors, they've all received a certificate of recognition, and the awardees also receive a certificate of recognition along with the award you're seeing on the screen right now. So Cindy, is that all that I was supposed to cover on this slide?
Good job.
Okay, thank you. That's the permission to proceed. All right. Is Karen Owens with us? I think she is. I think I saw her name earlier. Karen, are you with us?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. Congratulations. You
Thank
are
you.
the outstanding composition student, and you were nominated by Professor Matt Hunt. But before Professor Hunt comes forward, he will, and reads this statement. And by the way, this is just an excerpt. He said even more wonderful things about you in his full nomination statement. So these are just some of the highlights that are on the slide in front of us all right now. But before I invite Matt to read his statement, I have a question for you, and it will be the question I'll ask the 5 remaining awardees as well. So here's the question, Karen. Here's the question. What do you think is the single most important thing a student can do to promote their own academic success?
Oh, God.
The single, you're an awardee, so I'm gonna be tougher on the awardee.
Right, I was going to say, I hope this isn't a test. The single most important thing a student can do to promote their own success. I think that honestly that it is probably one of the hardest things for especially a writer to do, because most writers are artists, and most artists have self-esteem issues in some way or another about their craft. But I think it's to believe in yourself. And I think that believing in yourself, I think it starts with having a great teacher or having a great mentor of some kind. There are many great, all of the nominees, I'm sure, I haven't been able to read their work, but I'm sure all of the nominees are fabulous writers and fabulous artists. It starts with a base of really believing in yourself. So that's what I think the single most important thing for promoting your writing would be. And I have to credit that to Dr. Hunt for always considering my work a profile. I never thought any of the things I wrote were part of my profile or anything like that. He always considered me a writer and talked to me as though I was a writer from day one. And I think that's made me start thinking of myself as a writer. So I think more than anything else, that's
what a splendid answer to the question. And certainly it's very important. It's very crucial. Self-confidence, meaningful self-confidence. And it was so good that you incorporated into your response the role of our faculty to encourage meaningful self-confidence. So thank you. I'm sure Matt was pleased to hear your answer. So Matt, would you like to read to all of us a portion of your nominating statement?
Well, I will, but I would much rather just go on and on about other things about how wonderful Karen is. Because on those bullets of the characteristics, she hit those out of the park, but she was also the top student as well. So, it's hard to know where to start with her. And in fact, with the other students, I was thinking, oh man, I wish she had Suki's class, because she would have recognized this talent as well. Anyway, so I'll read what we have here. In my 33 years of teaching writing, I can count on one hand the number of students who've impressed me with their talent with the written word, who could formulate compositions with nuance and insight, who could construct their prose with layers of meaning beyond the exigencies of the prompt and beyond the abilities and appreciation of their classmates. Karen Owens is one of those. Though she is clearly blessed with natural talent, Karen is a member of the rare few who are willing to put in the time and excruciating effort to create quality prose. In my class, not only was Karen a delight as a bright and conscientious student, she was also a treasure in the interactive elements of class, providing her classmates with thoughtful, caring, and helpful feedback. I just wish I had a crystal ball to see the amazing things she will accomplish.
Beautifully written, Matt, beautifully said. And Karen, congratulations. He is quite correct, Professor Hunt, that he had far more, even more glowing things to say in his full statement than this portion he read. But you see, it is the highest acclaim that he gives to you. And so please accept this from us to you, outstanding composition student. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to show the award that I got.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
I appreciate
Karen.
it.
We're going to go to our next awardee, who is Sophia Torres Kopka. Sophia, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Sophia. Nice, very nice to see you, to meet you, and congratulations. You are the awardee as the Outstanding Creative Writing Student, and you were nominated by Professor Gina Schaefer. So can you tell us, what do you think is the single most important thing a student can do to promote their own academic success?
I think the single most important thing is to instill an early love of learning. I think something that's so special about Professor Schaefer's class is that we're not only going into class with the objective of keeping a grade in mind or keeping class content in mind, but really knowing that we can take that into a real world setting. And I've had the blessing of not only attending her English composition class, but also the Wall Literary Journal team. You know, this is a very special opportunity for me to take something which I love writing and then to put it in a real world setting. And that's also an incredible gift that this class has offered to me to not only, you know, continue my love of learning, but really promote and grow my appreciation for English under the guidance of Professor Schaefer.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that answer, which was an excellent one. And we're going to have Professor Schaefer come forward and read a portion of her statement. And I would also add that, Sophia, you've been enrolled in English 160, the literary journal, which produces The Wall. And for all of us on the meeting today, I want you to know The Wall has received national recognition as a college literary magazine for many years, consistently. It is a highly respected student publication. So congratulations not only for your award, but our great thanks for being a part of that course and part of a team of students that produces such an exceptional publication. Gina.
Thank you so much. I actually have a copy of Wall here from 2020, and I was going to mention that it's award winning. I'm so blessed to be able to teach English 160, which involves students being staff members and putting together Wall. So it's just a blessing to see students like Sophia, who's just a creative visionary. And not only do I have an award-winning journal, I have 2 award winners on my Wall team this semester. Congratulations to Karen, our personal narrative editor. That's beautiful. So I have Karen and Sophia. So it's really wonderful. So I'll read from my statement. I am pleased and privileged to recommend Sophia Torres Kopka as a candidate for the Outstanding English Department Student in Creative Writing. Her immense creative energy, love for learning, and sensitivity to social and economic struggles make her worthy of this honor. Familiar with her exemplary work as a writer, peer reviewer, and critical thinker in my English 1B honors in fall 2020, I selected Sophia for the position of Editor-in-Chief of Wall 2021 when she enrolled in my English 160 class this semester. So far, she has surpassed the requirements of the role with incredible energy and enthusiasm, consistently finding ways to engage the staff, improve the editorial process, so much so that I had to ask her, have you done this before? Have you already been an editor? and overall, inspire everyone to strive for excellence. In addition to displaying admirable leadership skills as editor-in-chief of Wall Literary Journal, Sophia is a multidisciplinary creative immersed in literary works and visual arts. Sophia's dedication to academic and creative excellence is evident from her desire to learn and grow intellectually, going far beyond the requirements of assignments and exploring challenging concepts. Congratulations again, Karen and Sophie. I'm so proud of both of you.
Congratulations, Sophia. and our thanks. And do you see, to all of us in our ceremony today, do you see how these statements are echoing our ambitions and goals within the liberal arts division? So my thanks to our students, and my continual thanks to all of our wonderful faculty who take our goals, our mission statement and goals so very seriously, and they clearly bring it into their classrooms every day, be they online or on campus. So thank you all. We're going to move to our next awardee, who is Amanda Sosa Ferrier, who is receiving the award for Outstanding Literature Student. And you were nominated by Professor Ray Zimmerman. So tell us all, Amanda, what do you think is the most important thing a student can do to promote their own academic success?
Hi there. I think it would have to be perseverance. And I think a lot of people have really displayed that quality in the last year, especially. As with a lot of other students, it's made us reevaluate ourselves and what's really important to us. And that was very much the case for me as well. It was nearly 8 years since I was last in university, so it was quite overwhelming, the prospect of going back to school. And I could not have chosen a better professor to be reintroduced back into academia than Dr. Ray Zimmerman. He was brilliant. He was, he lifted his students' confidence, especially for me, who didn't have very much of it in writing. And he told me that, you know, he thought I was a really good writer, which was a brilliant thing to hear, because I think especially during, during any normal period, you know, we're all used to just, you know, pushing forward and, you know, without really having the chance to sit down and think properly about, you know, the different challenges we face and how, you know, the sort of things that we do and the struggles and it's quite significant, the accomplishments we can achieve in the midst of that. So his very kind words made me actually think, wow, like he's right. I can't believe that I was actually able to do what I did, you know, with all of the challenges that I faced. So you mentioned in the beginning, Dr. O'Connor, the importance of acknowledging people's success. And that is absolutely 100% true. You know, at any stage of somebody's life, that's really, really important to tell people how good a job they're doing, the progress that they're making, and just the simple acknowledgement is so important. So thank you very much for organizing this, and to Dr. Ray especially for seeing my potential and helping me through it. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Amanda. Those were wonderful thoughts you just shared with us. And with respect to perseverance, the thing you focused on, I think we can only persevere if there are people to help us along the way, which you also pointed out with Professor Zimmerman. You know, if there's a difference between perseverance and self-torture. So while perseverance is a good thing, we need to be encouraged at certain points along the way, and we always want the encouragement to be coming from a genuine place. So thank you. You melded those two thoughts very artfully in your comments. Thank you, Amanda. And now, Ray, please come forward and read some of the, and again, an excerpt of some of the things you said about Amanda.
Thank you. I'm very excited to see Amanda get this award. She's really a dream student. I wish everybody had a chance to have Amanda in their classes. But she was my student last semester in English 44, a literature class on classical mythology. She was a truly outstanding student who showed exemplary leadership, classroom engagement, respect for her peers and instructor, ability to overcome obstacles, definitely, and joy of learning. Amanda consistently showed leadership through her insightful participation in our weekly Zoom class discussions. She was a creative, generous, and insightful contributor to large class discussions and small group work in breakout rooms. She unfailingly kept up with the reading, offered her readings of the text with intellectual humility, listened attentively to her peers, and encouragingly built on their insights. She was a wonderful example of scholarly dialogue, modeling ways of reading and collaborative learning that showed respect for her peers as well as for her instructor. It was truly a pleasure to read her work throughout the semester. She transferred to UCLA this semester and only has 2 more classes to take before finally completing her English degree after having been out of school for 8 years. She contacted me recently and let me know that the knowledge she gained in my classical mythology class has been helpful in her UCLA English courses, even in a class covering witch trials in 17th century England and Scotland. I was pleased to see her applying insights from previous classes, demonstrating her joy of learning and modeling lifelong application of learning for her peers at UCLA. Overall, and I told Amanda this before, she's a born teacher and a born writer, an exceptional thinker, writer, communicator, and leader. I would love to see her recognized as an outstanding English department student in literature, and my wishes come true. I'm so proud of Amanda, and thank you so much for recognizing her.
Thank you, Dr. Ray.
Well, thank you, Ray. What an eloquent statement you drafted on Amanda's part. And Amanda, thank you so much for being its inspiration.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Rachel Soltis, are you with us?
I am, everyone. Hello.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome. So nice to see you. You were selected as the awardee in international languages in their Spanish program, and Professor Kayet is going to, in a few minutes, read a portion of her statement. But first, you have to answer the quiz question. So, Rachel, what is the most important thing that an outstanding, excellent, successful student needs to do to promote their academic career?
Well, to promote success within academia, I find it essential to stay driven. Professor Kayet not only influenced my motivation to do well in her courses and my other academic classes, but also excited me about the experience of learning a new language. Learning a new language such as Spanish is not easy, and she makes it such an amazing process that I encourage everyone to go ahead and try her class because it's always so positive. It's such a safe learning environment, and everyone will come out of it a better student and a better speaker in Spanish. That driven and motivation that she has shown as a professor is inspiring to students as myself, and I'm sure my fellow colleagues to reciprocate that same energy and motivation to do well in all of our classes.
Well, congratulations. Those are just it's a wonderful answer. And, you know, it does take this wonderful combination of student and professor and the synergy between the two to bring out the best in each, as you've just described it. And I've mentioned to our international languages faculty many times, language acquisition is not my forte. So I've always told them that they were very fortunate they never had me in their classes, because I would have probably been the student that would have made them want to reconsider what they were trying to teach. So it's so good that, you know, you were focused and that you had the right professor to help you maintain that focus. So congratulations, Rachel. So good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. And our next awardee, Catarina de Alameda. Catarina, are you here?
Hi, sorry. I'm just
I can see your name, but we're not yet able to see your face.
Home from my babysitting job, so sorry.
Don't apologize. The dog looks wonderful.
Oh, that's weird. My video says it's on. You guys can't see me?
Now we can. You're in your car.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm literally in my neighborhood. I was trying to get in here before you guys call my name, so sorry.
Well, now, I want to be confident that you're going to pull over to the curb at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to right now.
Please do that for us. We want you to be safe. All right.
Give me a second.
Katerina, congratulations on winning the Outstanding Journalism Student Award. And you were nominated by our wonderful lab technician, Ollie Dory. Ollie's going to read a portion of his statement briefly. But Katerina, what do you think is the most important thing a student needs to do to be academically successful?
I think the most important for that is honestly to be organized and, you know, kind of have things planned out properly, especially with taking so many units at once and being online and doing it yourself with the pandemic and having to do everything online. Organization is probably the number one thing for me and what I encourage other people to do as well.
That's great. You know, and organization is sometimes overlooked as a key to success in life as well as academia. And in fact, national surveys of students have indicated that when students, college students in the United States, indicate the areas that they feel that they are weakest in, study skills and time management are the two most named hurdles college students report to their academic success. So Katerina, it's great that you recognize organization is key to success in whatever we do, and certainly in academia. So that's a great answer to the question. Thank you. Ollie, how about reading your wonderful award-winning statement?
Sure. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kat. Kat displayed leadership skills throughout the academic year. She is the current Laureate Editor.
Thank you.
I'm sorry? Did someone say something? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Allie.
Oh, okay. She is the current Laureate Editor-in-Chief and was Managing Editor in the fall 2020 semester. She engages with everyone. Laureate colleagues, faculty, and staff consistently have positive working relationships with the student. Her organization, skills, and ability to constructively assist staff are additional assets that make her an exceptionally effective editor. Laureate editors are sometimes thrust into sensitive situations, and when this has occurred, Kat has done very well. She is also a student athlete, balancing a variety of activities and responsibilities. It is difficult for me to imagine too many other students being as involved with the campus as Katerina was during this year of remote learning.
Well, thank you, Ollie, and congratulations, Katerina. And
yes, thank you.
Congratulations on juggling classes and from the nominating statement that Ollie just read, juggling not only classes, but the role of the life of a student athlete. That's in of itself very challenging. And being the editor of the school publication, Laureate. So obviously you practice organizational skills exceedingly well. So
yes.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're coming up on our last awardee. Yes, it's Michelle Nowacek. And Michelle, are you with us? Yes, you are. I see you there. Hi, Michelle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You were nominated as the awardee for Outstanding Reading Student, and Professor Jeff Vogel submitted your award-winning statement. First thing, what's your answer to our question? What is the single most important thing a student can do to promote their own academic success?
For me, motivation. Motivation. Come from a good teacher that inspired me to study and keep going for my academic goal. So I'm very lucky that before I take English 340, I try to enter to different classes like ESL, but I end up have to drop the class because the instructor told me I don't need those classes. So I still try to find out, but I went to Dr. Vogel. Thank you for holding that workshop at the library. I remember I come to you and ask you about, I try to find out where am I before I enter to writing class. I know reading is so important before I take any writing classes. So I'm willing to take one level lower. I remember I told you I want to take one level lower than English 200. But I was thinking about which one I should take, 340 ESL or is 340 English. Okay, I asked you about how to pick classes. Thank you for so patient. I remember you explained to me what do I need and what I will expect. I will learn from those classes, and you give me a reading quizzes. I remember, and then the following semester I entered to English 340, which is a good, correct, and good start with English. So far, Dr. Vogel, I want to say thank you to you because you're the. Honestly, I tell you, I'm from other countries. English is so difficult for me to learn, to read, to write, because my second language. I never have a degree, never have a, well, just, you know, without English and math, I just don't have any academic achievement. So I'm really thankful that Dr. Vogel, you really make a difference in my life. So you're the first and most English teacher that I learned the most from you. So really thankful. And I like the textbook that you choose, and I'm still keeping it. I didn't sell it. The 340, I learned a lot. All the classes I take is new to me. I never learned this. I wish I learned this before I take all those science classes. I don't know how to take notes. I use the tape recorder to tape it, but I don't write fast. And I don't know how to read fast. So I remember I entered about 12th class. I don't know how to read the guidance, that big physio book. The first semester I failed because I fall behind because I'm reading that book. Then the second semester I come back, I still didn't read that book because it took too much time. I look at the picture. I'm a visual learner, so and
well,
I take
Michelle, I want to say that your description is certainly consistent with motivation, and it's important. And we can't be motivated if we don't have the skills. You know, skills motivate us. Skills allow us to have motivation and perseverance. Some of the other things your fellow awardees have mentioned this afternoon. So thank you so much for your excellent answer to my question. And by the way, I wanted to let everybody know, I overlooked having Connie Kayette read the statement. So as soon as Jeff finishes, I want you all to know we're going to go back to Connie. Connie, my deepest apology for that. But Jeff, if you could come forward and read your statement for Michelle.
Absolutely. And I just want to briefly preface that with what Michelle was just saying, you can see the dedication and the focus that Michelle has had since day one. So a few years ago, I did have her in the very first class, which was English 340, and she sat right up front, asked great questions, was helping her peers, and she also stayed after class that very first day, asked questions, and then was in the academic reading center every week, learning as much as she could with each assignment. So she's extremely dedicated, and I think the motivation really comes from her. So with that, the statement, which encapsulates Michelle. Michelle Nowacek is the perfect candidate to receive the Reading Department's Outstanding Student Award for this academic year. In English 70, and this is the third time I've had her, by the way, in English 70, Michelle consistently exhibits a combination of intelligence, leadership, and diligence across all assignments. For example, each week's learning concept requires varying levels of critical thought and fortitude, yet Michelle is always highly successful, as evidenced by her academic ranking, which across all of my courses, she's in the top 2%. Furthermore, she has always been quick to help her peers in both face-to-face and online courses, and her responses to challenging questions and topics has always pushed the class forward. She is one of the rare students that brings out the best in her professors and her peers, and is a clear sign of a natural leader. This balance of intellect and dedication to both herself and to others allows Michelle to leave a positive impression on all who are fortunate enough to share a classroom with her. And that's both in the physical classroom and now online. This devoted spirit, combined with her quest for knowledge, best demonstrates why she is not only an excellent student, but an outstanding person as well. And therefore, I give Michelle my highest recommendation, because she exemplifies all the qualities that best represent Saddleback College. And really, if you look back to the mission statement from the Liberal Arts Division, Michelle is all of those things and more. She's just a great student and a great person.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much. A wonderful nomination statement. Michelle, congratulations.
Thank you.
What a wonderful student, as Jeff just said, person you are. And we want to thank all of our nominees, awardees rather, but we're going to go back now to Connie. And my apologies to both Rachel and Connie that I moved to the next slide without Connie, you're being able to read the statement.
Thank you so much, Kevin. First of all, I wanted to thank all of you present today for your wonderful spirit of learning and engaging in our college. I see my students and former students, and it brings me to tears of gratitude. Thank all of you for everything you've given to one another, to your classmates, to me as your professor. I couldn't be more honored to be in this division with all of you. Our wonderful dean, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, my heartfelt thanks for all you do for all of us and our students, unwavering support, the greatest ideals, Cindy and Hover, for all you do for our department to support us, but to all of the faculty for what you put into this work. It is an absolute honor to be included in the faculty at Saddleback College. So my heart to all of you, and thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, and this is a tribute to Rachel. My outstanding Spanish 1 honors student in fall 2020, Rachel Soltez, demonstrated the highest academic standards in every class with perfect attendance and the highest possible points on the midterm and final exams. A class leader, she was always the first to volunteer for opening discussion questions, as well as the first to present her oral presentation and research project on Spanish festivals and celebrations. Her depth of research, cognitive skills, and aptitude for learning a second and third, and I might say today a fourth language underscore her dedication and enthusiasm for learning the topic beyond all expectations. Rachel organized study groups and conversation practice sessions, assisted with peer share activities, and modeled high engagement strategies taught in the classroom. As a member of the ASG, an active officer who has dedicated time, energy, and passion for student leadership, she is most deserving of the Spanish 1 Honors Meritorious Performance Award. Felicitaciones. Congratulations, Rachel.
Congratulations, Rachel. My apologies that I went on to the next slide before we heard that Connie read that wonderful statement. And Connie, thank you for your opening remarks. I know they're heartfelt, and so thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, Rachel.
You too.
All right, we have a final slide, I think. We have now, although we finished with all of the awardee presentations, I wanted to offer some special thanks. And before I do that, similar, Connie, to what you shared with us a few minutes ago, your personal insights, which were very, I'm very pleased you shared those with us. I want to say that this ceremony each year is the high point of my year at the college each year, and it motivates me tremendously, gets me some of the words our awardees have used and our nominees about, you know, having perseverance and moving forward and new goals and pathways, some of the great insights we've heard from our students today. this energizes me for the next year. So it affirms that we're on the right track. And so I can't thank enough all of our nominees and awardees and all of the people in the Liberal Arts Division. They're just a wonderful group of people to be able to work with on a daily basis. So thank you. So a very broad thank you and a more specific thank you here on the page to all of our nominating faculty. You make this happen. It takes, as you can see from the nomination statements that were shared, which were only excerpts, they really are very, very thoughtful, the people who make these nominations. And it's a delight to read them and a very big challenge to make award selections. So, so thank you, nominating faculty. I also want to briefly acknowledge the people you see under the Liberal Arts Success Committee. We've had for years our own division success committee, and these are the most recent group that have been part of that team. And it was from that team of people whose names you see here on this slide that the idea came forward and was implemented to have an outstanding students recognition ceremony, because we realized you have success if you acknowledge success. You have to recognize success, and you have to do it in a way that's really important and meaningful. So that's what we always try to do in this ceremony, is to recognize success, to be those selective in recognizing the very best students, the most successful students, and for all the many reasons of why they bring success to their lives, the lives of others, and to the classrooms of their faculty who are so, so appreciative. So again, I want to thank Karen, Pete, Jan, Marianne, Nada, and Amina. They have been a wonderful team, and others who have been on this committee in past years. They have really helped our division with professional development and student success. And certainly you've been introduced today to Cindy Lure, who works in the Liberal Arts Division office as administrative assistant. Whatever you liked about this ceremony today, thanks, Cindy.
You're welcome. Hey, Cindy, Kevin, thank you, students.
All of her work, and Havar Akhtar, our senior administrative assistant, and she is wonderful. And we thank her for all of the classes that are in the schedule. We would not have that, and therefore we wouldn't have an award ceremony if we didn't have classes in the schedule. So I thank Havar and Cindy. And please, for all of you who joined us this afternoon, our guests, our visitors, those of you who joined our ceremony today to support your friends, your family, your loved ones, thank you so much for doing that and being a part of our afternoon. And with that, I wish you all the most wonderful evening, and for all of our students, for continued and great success as you move forward in your lives and your academic careers, wherever they take you. So my heart goes out to all of you. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Karen.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Oh, my pleasure. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. You take care.
Thank you.
You too.